Hello, and welcome to another episode of Untraditionally Traditional, a podcast with me, Brittany Duncan, a millennial homemaker. Join me each week as I share all the things I've learned that make keeping your home, garden, and life running smoothly, all while working. If you are enjoying the podcast, please be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcasting app so you get the episodes downloaded straight to you every Monday. Now, on to today's episode. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Untraditionally Traditional, a millennial homemaker. This is your host, Brittany Duncan, and I am so excited about today's episode for a few reasons. First, it is episode 60. My goodness. For a fun little project that I started that has grown and grown, I cannot believe that we are 60 episodes in. Very exciting. Thank you to all of you who listen and have shared the podcast and have stuck around. I love this little community that we've got going here. It really does bring a lot of joy to my life, so thank you. The other reason that I'm so excited about this episode is that we are going to talk about thrifting, which is one of my favorite things. Now, thrifting means a lot of different things to different people, and there's a wide spectrum. Personally, I consider thrifting buying secondhand, and for the purpose of this episode, that's the definition that we should keep in mind. My thrifting journey has evolved over the years, and I've been thrifting since I was a little girl. The concept was introduced to me by my beloved granny, as most things I hold near and dear to my heart today have been. Granny is a master thrifter. We would go thrifting when I was little, not only because it was economical, but because the hunt is darn fun. Now, if you're someone who seeks instant satisfaction, thrifting probably isn't for you. But I'd present the idea of digging into why you like instant satisfaction and how long-lasting it is for you. Perhaps you might get a more long-lasting satisfaction, although not instant, from thrifting. That's what I have found personally. Thrifting makes you slow down and really consider your purchase. I also didn't realize until this past year how thrifting has helped me define my personal style, not only in our home, but in my closet. And that's what I want to bring your attention to today. Buying new has its perks, a big one being that you don't have to think very hard. Say you need a new top. You walk into a store, they have 10 shirts to choose from. You narrow it down to 3 styles you like, pick 2 colors of each that they have in your size, swipe your card, and you've added 6 new shirts to your closet pretty easily. And I'm not hating on that. I was that person for a long time, but it's just not very unique. You are selecting your personal style from one store and 10 shirt options. Of course, there are multiple stores you can shop at, but they all follow, pretty much what is popular and in style for the year. There isn't that much variety between them. Now let's flip the script. Say you walk into a secondhand store with the goal of buying a shirt. Let's use Goodwill as our example. You'll be hard-pressed to find 2 shirts of the exact same style and brand on the rack, which makes it difficult, but it also adds variety to your closet. As they say, variety is the spice of life. Before my thrifting journey started, I was in a fashion rut. I didn't realize it at the time, but I'd fallen into a pattern of buying shirts that were neutral colors, mostly the same cut and style with a little variation. I made it a goal to only buy secondhand clothing with the exception of a few things like undergarments, swimwear, and technical sporting wear. Listen, trying to find a flattering bathing suit that keeps everything where it's supposed to be is hard enough as it is, let alone trying to limit myself to secondhand. But what I found through this journey of only buying secondhand clothing is that my style has evolved and expanded a lot, and in a way that I would not have expected. I look at my closet now, and it is full of fun pieces that are bright and colorful and full of pattern and texture and ruffles and puffy sleeves and interesting cuts that are unique and happy. I can take a risk on a top that is a little out there because it's so much more affordable than buying new, and you can find great brands. I buy a lot of the same brands that I used to, just from seasons past. I mean, come on, Vintage J. Crew? Hello. But of all the clothing racks I search, I only buy a piece every now and again. So it's building a closet gradually and carefully.
I'm not just buying clothing to buy clothing. I have to really love it, which, was my mom's rule forever. If you don't love it, don't buy it. But it's got to make me smile. And as much as I love a basic black or white t-shirt, those things don't make me smile with the I love this thought because they're kind of basic, right? So because of that, my closet has become a lot more fun. Now, that may not be your approach, and I get it. It can be a lot of work, but you can help yourself by going to curated secondhand shops. Consignment is secondhand, but a level up in quality. You might not get as many deals like you'll find at Goodwill, but you're also not looking for a diamond in the rough or cashmere in a bunch of Shein, if you know what I'm saying. Consignment stores are amazing, and they have quality pieces often at a fraction of the price of new clothing that's cheaply made overseas. These are stores that specialize in luxury brand consignment, others specialize in vintage consignment, and there's everything in between. But with consignment, you're typically weeding out anything that is stained or torn or of poor quality, which can make searching for an outfit a lot easier. So you don't necessarily have to pick either or. You don't have to go from buying new or searching for hours through the Goodwill racks. There is a happy medium. Consignment jewelry, bags, and scarves are amazing and should never be skipped. Talk about conversation pieces that will add some pizzazz to your outfit, even if it is a basic white tee and blue jeans. Paired with a chunky vintage necklace or a silk scarf, you've elevated your look in a unique way. Same goes with your home. Let's face it. Furniture, glassware, art, it's just not made the way it once was. And when I say art, I'm talking about the home goods martial art, not true artist's art. Just make that little qualifier there. And we don't have a single piece of box store furniture in our home outside of our living room sectional, and that's intentional. Is our home modern? No. Does it have matching furniture sets? No. Is the furniture quality? Yes. Is it unique? Yes. The style of your home is so personal, maybe even more so than your closet. It's where you really let your hair down, and it should reflect your personality and be curated, a collection that tells the story of your life and your loves. When someone comes to our home, they can probably tell that we love fly fishing, nature, mountains, and birds from the artwork and table books that we've collected. They can probably discern that I love a country cottage antique vibe, and I do wholeheartedly. Our home is lived in, it's comfortable, and it's warm, which is how we live. I'd rather sit next to a fire with my husband reading a good book than go out any night. And I think our home tells that story. When you buy new, the story is blurred because the pages are pre-written. You can only be so unique with new furniture, art, and decor. When someone asks me about something on a shelf in our home, it has a story. Where we got it, why we got it, how we got it, who gave it to us. Not one item has the narrative of, I got it from Home Goods because I thought it was cute. And I'm not hating on Home Goods. I'm just suggesting that we dig a little deeper because eventually that feeling of satisfaction from that purchase will probably pretty quickly actually fade. And you're going to go back to Home Goods again, trying to fill that gap. When you search for something unique and you find it, you don't want to get rid of it. It means more to you than just an object on a shelf. So that's my pitch. If you feel like you're in a rut in your personal style, whether it be your clothing or your home, I encourage you to start searching secondhand. Start small, maybe with curated consignment, and then once you've caught the bug, which I warn you, it's contagious, bigger thrift stores are, you never know what you're going to come across, and that's kind of cool. So if you want to view my home, closet, or vintage finds that I sell at a resale shop in Boise called Casa Bella Home Decor, you can follow my Instagram page at Untraditionally Traditional Pod. All right, happy vintage and secondhand thrifting, everybody.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Untraditionally Traditional. If you enjoy the podcast, please share it with those special people who would love it too, and write a review. For more tips and photos of my home and garden, follow Untraditionally Traditional Pod on Instagram. Until next week, let's continue to make our homes places of joy and service to ourselves and those we share them with.